News this morning. A flood relief group in the mountains hosts community meetings. And Kentucky State Police is urging people to be vigilant when it comes to scams surrounding Valentine's Day.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Wednesday, February 11th. The time is now 6:29, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I'm honestly kind of enjoying the rain. I think it gives like cozy vibes.
I do think it is cozy. Yeah, I'm excited for the rain to be gone, but it's nice to have it here while it's going on, right? But while we're looking at the satellite and radar right now, you can just see where that rain is located. It looks like it's now south of the station, so unfortunately, Neely, if we were to walk outside, we would not be seeing the rain, but it is on its way out, and we're going to stay nice and clear once it does finally exit with partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. Looking at those temperatures, though, you can really see the difference that the temperature has made over the course of the past several hours with that cold front making its way through. It's 34 right now in Moorhead, 48 and the southern counties right now, and 50 even in Jacksboro. So we head towards the afternoon, though, we will start to warm back up again, looking at a mixture of some 40s and some 50s. Overall, nothing crazy for today, just cooler than yesterday's temperatures. And here's a look at those temperatures throughout the next several hours. Again, we're going to continue watching those temperatures drop until about 9 o'clock and then warm into those secondary highs around 3 p.m. Neely.
Thank you, Megan. Police in Southwest Virginia are investigating a situation in which a man reportedly shot himself following a chase. Wise County Sheriff deputies were notified about a be on the lookout alert from police in Ohio. Ohio police say Kenneth Phillips, who is wanted in connection with a sexual assault investigation, was on US 23 heading south. After a failed traffic stop, police say they began to chase Phillips. He eventually stopped after police laid down spike strips. They say Phillips then shot himself. A firearm was recovered between the driver's seat and Phillips' leg. 2 people were charged in connection with an infant's death in Owsley County. It comes after Kentucky State Police finished a lengthy investigation. Authorities initially responded to a 911 call in November of 2024 about a woman having a miscarriage. The couple told authorities that the baby was still at their home. The infant was found unresponsive at the home and pronounced dead by the Owsley County coroner. Deanne and Charles Bennett were charged with reckless homicide and concealing the birth of an infant. Deanne Bennett is also facing charges of tampering with evidence and abuse of a corpse. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet is one agency that responded across the state during the winter storm. KYTC says crews meet during and after a winter storm like we just saw to talk about the challenges and successes. Spokesperson Alan Blair says all 120 counties had crews out in the storm. Using a priority system to clear roads, one challenge often seen is freezing rain and ice. But now their focus is on potholes that may be forming.
Just use caution, especially after a big snow like this. Because there could be some areas where, before the snow, there may not have been an issue, but now that we've gone through these Arctic temperatures and you got that freezing and thawing that cracks open the pavement, there could be some potholes in areas you don't expect.
KYTC says the same people who were salting the roads and in snowplow trucks are now the same people working to patch potholes. The clock is ticking for expecting mothers who are upset a hospital in Lincoln County is about to lose its birthing center. Epram McDowell Health says they are consolidating services, which is impacting Fort Logan Hospital in Stanford. People there say the hospital is losing an option that is much more than a convenience and could even violate a decades-old agreement. Carolyn Rothwell's son was born at Fort Logan Hospital's award-winning birthing center. But now Epram McDowell Health leaders say they need to consolidate services to better meet the needs of mothers. These mothers say that cannot be true.
And if this is the kind of compassion and lack of consideration that we're shown by the main hospital in our area, what's it going to look like 20, 25 years from now?
The decision is slated to take effect Monday. Upper McDowell health leaders say they are working with providers to ensure there is no disruption to care. Registered nurses at 9 Appalachian Regional Healthcare facilities in Kentucky and West Virginia voted in favor of ratifying a new 3-year contract. National Nurses United officials says the contract, which was voted on January 23rd, would improve nurse recruitment and retention. Members with the National Nurses Organizing Committee. Another aspect of the contracts highlights wellness days, which would allow nurses to take days off without penalty. As we approach 1 year of the anniversary of the February 2025 flood, officials in Floyd County are asking the Commonwealth to help create a resource to keep folks safe during floods and other natural disasters. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has those details.
The Floyd County Flood Relief Group is working to prepare for potential disasters, hosting a series of community meetings to touch base with those impacted by flooding.
What we want to do is encourage all of our community folks to come out, if they were flooded, if they were not flooded, because if you live in this county, you are probably some way affected by flood waters.
The group received a $100,000 Climate Smart Communities grant, so the county is partnering with Ohio University and the Mountain Association to open conversations in the community about where and how flooding has been an issue.
And we're trying to take all of that information and create a flood map to be able to help us to build on that, to be able to look for more grant opportunities to actually build a community resilience hub.
Officials say it is one project in a larger emergency preparedness plan and the first step toward establishing a community resilience hub by creating a map to identify safe spaces to escape during emergencies, medical support locations, where to find food and water, and other crucial resources.
They'll have something that they can take a look at and see hot spots, areas that are of concern and areas that are not of concern, and something that that individual can read, not something that you have to have an engineering degree to understand them.
The group hosted one public meeting last month, and 2 meetings are set for next week, asking community members to be part of the project.
You're the folks that live in these communities. We need to hear your concerns. We need to hear where there's water issues, where there's not water issues.
Organizers say the work is all about getting ahead of the next disaster, whether that comes in the form of an ice storm, wind, or another flood.
To be proactive, because we know, sadly, that it will flood again. So what can we do to help mitigate? And then what can we do that when it does flood, that we'll be ready to more aggressively and quickly assist our people?
In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The next meeting is set for February 18th from 12 p.m. until 2 p.m. at the Floyd County Library in Eastern. The final meeting is set for February 19th from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. at McDowell First Baptist Church. The University of Kentucky is offering support to students and staff on campus dealing with recovery. This spring, their collegiate recovery program is offering training to support those navigating addiction and recovery. Recovery Allied Training is a series of virtual seminars to learn about the recovery process, and it also links you with resources on campus to help those struggling. Students who complete the training are eligible to receive credit. The training sessions are an extension of the weekly recovery meetings on campus. Kentucky State Police is urging people to be vigilant when it comes to scams surrounding Valentine's Day. Trooper Matt Gayhart says AI-generated photos and videos are becoming more difficult to determine things from real or fake, meaning folks should be wary when it comes to online dating profiles or gift advertisements. If you are looking to purchase items online, you may want to double-check those links before you hit checkout.
Advertisements for things such as flowers, candy, typical Valentine's Day gifts, but unfortunately a lot of those are scams. There are usually red flags associated, such as discounted pricing. So if something looks too good to be true, most of the time it probably is.
Gayhart says it's important to report any monetary fraud or scam to Kentucky State Police. And with Valentine's Day just around the corner, flower shops are spending this week preparing, and some are still recovering from the impacts of the recent winter storm. Many businesses shut down as a result of ice and snow, and some saw delays in shipments. And as the return of the extremely cold temperatures, some locally grown flowers face some challenges.
When we sell things like these orchids or a lot of fresh flowers or tropical plants, we have to wrap them up to protect them, because even a short time out in the cold like that can cause damage.
Along with the weather impacts, local flower shop owners say the increased tariffs also have an impact on the cost of certain flowers. Super Bowl 60 was Sunday, and some folks are either celebrating the big win or they're looking forward to next year. Although the game took place in California, folks here in the Commonwealth still found ways to have fun. Kentucky State Police posts across the Commonwealth participated in the KSP Super Bowl Challenge. Troopers submitted their predictions of who would win the Super Bowl and the score. The Seahawks won 29-13, and State Trooper Matt Gayhart with post 13 in Hazard won the challenge, guessing 24-17.
Fortunately, we were able to come away with a tie with State Police Post 15 in Columbia. So it feels really good to secure a win. What it does, it gives us $300 to put toward our Shop with a Trooper program coming up this Christmas.
The winner was to be awarded $600, but with the tie, the two posts decided to split the winnings. The challenge was sponsored by Kentucky Trooper Outreach and Nick Danner with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Those temperatures have really started to cool down, with many folks getting down to the 30s now in our northern counties. Seeing a lot of low 40s as you travel towards the central portions of our region. Still hanging on to that 50-degree mark in Jacksboro this morning, but that cold front's going to continue to drop our temperatures until about 9 o'clock this morning, and then we'll see a gradual warm up back into the highs for today in a mixture of the low 40s for our northern counties and the mid to upper 40s as you travel south of the Hal Rogers. We're still hanging on to some of that rain, but it's almost out of the region. And then for the rest of the day, we're going to stay plenty dry, looking at mostly sunny skies by the afternoon. So here's what you need to know for that bus stop forecast. Off to school, we have a range of those temperatures. Most folks, though, will be in those low 40s. By the time you're heading home, though, we'll be seeing some upper 40s with partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. Neely.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning, as the growth of data centers accelerates, some homeowners are saying not so fast. We'll take a look at how AI infrastructure is becoming a political issue.